welcome back to Two Drs Homestead. My name's Daniel, and this is Prepper Pantry Pick of the Week. Thank you for shopping with us today. Every week we take you shopping. We go to the store, we pick out an item, we talk about nutritional information, shelf life, where it fits into your pantry. We've been doing these videos for a long time now. We enjoy doing them, and we appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for the comments, the likes, the subscribes. Everybody new to the channel, we absolutely appreciate it, right? We try to help people get in the mindset of a long-term food storage pantry. I think it's important nowadays to have a little bit of extra food put away. Even the government recommends it. There's a good book. We point this out every once in a while. It's A Year Without the Grocery Store. This is a great book if you're interested in building out your pantry. You're not sure where to start. There's a lot of good information here. It talks about things like short-term food storage, long-term food storage. You got your mid-term food storage, and I can kind of explain what that means. And this is different places, different ideas in terms of what kind of foods, where to get them, how to store them, right? So when we talk about short-term food storage, that's going to be stuff with a shorter shelf life, right? Whether that's weeks or months, whether it's in your pantry, on the cabinet, in the refrigerator, whatever it is, that's the short-term stuff, right? That you got to eat it before it goes bad. Midterm is going to be maybe a year. You could say 6 months to 2 or 3 years, something like that. That's your midterm. And then long-term are going to be your dry goods. They're going to be your freeze-dried, the stuff you put in the Mylar bags that might last 10, 20, or even 30 years, right? So it's important to understand your pantry, organize it, eat stuff before it expires, and of course only buy stuff you're going to eat. You don't want to build up a giant cache of food that you're not ever going to eat, right? So we're not talking about wasting food. Keep an eye on your best by dates and things like that. A note on the channel, if you guys have noticed, we don't do as many shorts on YouTube anymore, but if you like the just homestead content, where we're playing with the pigs, the dogs, the chickens, the turkeys, gardening, most of that we just put on Instagram and TikTok. So it's at Two Drs Homestead if you want to check that out. But here we go, right? So today we're looking at raisins. This was always a favorite treat of mine growing up. Somehow raisins was the big treat. You get that little box. It's a little kid-sized box. This is 6 boxes in a pack. It was always super exciting, right? So this is $1.75 at Aldi's for 6 boxes of raisins. Each box is listed as 1 serving on the back, 90 calories per serving, so there's 540 calories total for $1.75. So when we look at calories and we talk about daily, we generally use 2 numbers. 2,000 calories is considered the daily average nutritional advice, and that's what they base all the information on. 1,500 calories is considered the starvation level, and obviously that depends on you, your health, your metabolism, all those kind of things, right? Not telling you how many calories to eat, but for the survival math here, because it's 540 calories per box, I just tripled it and said 3 packs, 18 boxes, get you 1,620 calories for $5.25 of raisins, and technically that should keep you above the starvation level, right? Which is good. We always want to stay above the starvation level. Not saying you can't or shouldn't eat more than that, right? So if you ate the 18 servings, because there's 6 here, we said 6 times 3, if you ate the 18 servings, in terms of nutritional information, there's 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, 0 sodium, right? So really your carbs, right? The grapes, talking about carbs, you end up with 396 grams of carbs, 144% of your daily. So it is heavy on carbs, and most of those are sugars because it's grapes, right? Grapes are mostly going to be sugars. You got some fiber in there, but mostly sugars. So if you ate your 18 boxes of raisins, you're mostly getting carbs, you're mostly getting sugar, 144% of your daily. There is some protein. It's 18 grams, which is low. Usually we kind of throw out between 50 and 200, and it really depends, once again, on you. A lot of the times they don't even list protein as a percent of the daily, which is interesting, but the numbers I've found is between 50 and 200, and this would only get you 18. So if you're only living on raisins, only living on grapes, mostly carbs, not much else. So Calcium, iron, potassium, of course. The ingredients, at least, is refreshing. It's just raisins, so they didn't put a lot of extra junk in here. At least that's kind of nice. So it has a 1-year shelf life, more or less, on the container, and it's dehydrated, right? It's dehydrated grapes. You're going to see the same shelf life on things like the apricots, the dates. I do like the dates. You know, your prunes, any of the dehydrated fruits. You're going to get into that, say, 1 year. USDA says 6 months, 1 year, 6 months, 4 months. You know, a lot of it is in how you store it, temperatures, and that kind of thing. So if you take care of it, don't store it in a hot spot, you're probably going to get some good shelf life. Obviously, you probably don't want to eat expired dried fruit. That's where you start dealing with things like bacteria that are going to make you sick. So you can make them at home, right? You absolutely can make your raisins, your dates. You need the fruit. So we do some gardening here, right? And something like the dried raisins or grapes. So I looked at McAvoy Ranch. They say 1 grapevine, if you grow a grapevine, typically it grows 40 grape clusters with 100 grapes per cluster. Now, I've never gotten that many. We've had some grapevines, but I say that's typical, maybe a mature grapevine, 40 clusters, 100 grapes per cluster. So 1 grapevine is going to get you about 4,000 grapes, right? So it's 60 raisins in an ounce, and of course a grape is a raisin, so 1 mature grapevine would get you 66 boxes of raisins. So if you want to make them at home, assuming you have the space, right? Not everybody can garden, but even 1 mature grapevine would get you 66 boxes of raisins using the numbers from McAvoy Ranch. It's not a bad deal, right? 1 grapevine, 66 boxes of raisins, that works out to about 5,940 calories per grapevine. So if you're looking for survival gardening, growing some of your own, you can make your raisins, you can make your apricots. If you can grow a grapevine, if you can grow fruit trees, highly recommend it. Start to source some of your own food. But if all you had to survive on was raisins, you'd need about, I think I said $5.25 to get 3 6-packs, and that would give you a day above the starvation level. Mostly carbs, mostly sugar, maybe not the healthiest idea in the world. You'd think grapes would be healthy, but I'm just looking at living on carbs and sugars. To me, doesn't sound completely healthy. That's not medical advice or anything. But it has its place, certainly, right? The dried fruits have their place in your diet, have their place in your pantry. 1 year shelf life would put it in that midterm, right? Midterm pantry. It's going to last more than, say, grapes. Fresh grapes would. You've got some time. And once again, when I was a kid, this was the deal. This was it. You're excited. You had your little box of raisins. So, as always, hope that helps out. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate you.